We are here to present Energy S.p.A. and we will use a presentation which also shows, has some section dedicated to the financial year 2023 presentation results, but we also speak about the company as a whole. The person speaking to you is Daniele Manfroi, CFO in Energy since more than 2 years now, with a background in business management, and also I have a past experience in the operations, especially in quality and certifications, and also in other industries, especially the rolling stock industry, so manufacturing background. We will go through Energy at a glance for the first set of slides, and then we will see some key results for last year, and we will give, of course, time for question and answer. Please let me know if I'm too long on some or if I need to speed up or a little bit. So Energy was founded in 2013. That for our business, actually, it looks like quite a long time. It's 11 years now. It was 11 years on the 1st of March. To make clean energy accessible to everyone at any time of day, because we develop systems that store energy. We are fully in the business of energy, electrical energy storage. We combine, of course, the technology of pure battery with the power conversion and advanced software that can effectively manage the storage of the energy. We are an Italian company founded in Italy and more than 50 employees today, 55, some like. We believe to be actually, but we are all of us are living a global megatrend for what we call energy transition, right? So more forms of energy are now available, and more time will pass and more forms of energy will be available. We all know about for example, renewables. Renewables penetration will increase, and the forms of energy we will use in Europe, but I would say in all over the world, as you can see here, all the countries listed in this Bloomberg study. So we need to think about a new way of sharing and storing the electrical energy. The consumption is increasing, and the needs for the availability is also becoming more and more complicated. We are within this global megatrend by providing the storage for electricity. We are listed. We are a listed company in Euronext Growth Milan market of Borsa Italiana as an Italian best integrated manufacturer. Our range of products, you can see we have, of course, here we're displaying on the main ones. On the first three on the left side are dedicated to the small and large, what we call small and large for residential applications. And we can see the inverters here and the wall box. And from the middle to the right side, we see the application for the extra large, what we call extra large segment market, industrial and large buildings, and even in-field application for the utility scale. We have sold up to now more than 62,000 systems. For a total power storage of more than 300 megawatt and more than 1 gigawatt hour overall storage capacity sold, with the special focus we will see later in Italy, but not only, also in Europe. We combine locally produced components with proprietary software and cloud platform. We also combine them with, of course, outsourced components, that's clear. And we have set up, we have an assembly line, manufacturing line here in Padova, close to Venice. How we The market, as we said, and this kind of business is quite young. Let's compare to the more let's say historical business that we are living in every day. That means that to position different players in this market is not exactly intuitive, but we use a classification from the Politecnico di Milano that was born already a few years ago. And in the green circle dots, we see the story of the company. So we started as a system or product integrator. Then we moved to the advanced system integrator, and what we can say that thanks to the work done until now and until 2023 included, that we can call ourselves a full system integrator or either a best integrated manufacturer, because we have a very long, high verticalization that comprises and embraces software, cloud application, part, of course, of the key strategic electronic components, and today also the manufacturing, the assembly of the batteries. Below there are other players, other names. Just we have done cherry picking to position some real names into each single category that we have listed above, just to know. Some of them are our customers, some are competitors, some suppliers, depending on their what they actually do in this business. This is our what we call the go-to-markets, how energy gets to the final and gets its product to the final user, which is on the very right end right of the slide. So we work with selected suppliers, few suppliers, I would say, selected and strategically with strong partnerships since a long time, of course. And we do our work in assembly products and combining them with the software. And then we have 3/4 main channels. Small and large products for residential are marketed through the distributors in Italy and Europe, which can be generalists or specialists, depending if they are concentrating on renewables or they are supplying all kind of electrical material, I would say. And in the second line, we instead supply what we call value-added resellers. Typically, these customers add on top of our product, add some piece of hardware or software and integrate them in order to prepare a different kind of offer to the market. For instance, all-in-one residential system, storage system. This is the case of one of our most important customers so far, and we provide also the white label in this case. And then typically they sell through multi-utilities or installers, but different channels compared to the first row above. And then the third one, which is the most recent, regarding extra large ESS, that we provide to EPC contractors, and really recently also to utilities and multi-utilities for larger installation and for different type of use of the storage system. Of course, these are our customers, but we have a direct contact with installers. That's because installer then has a typically very important key role in having a successful installation of the product, and that they still have also a quite important decision-making role. So we train installers, we trust installers, we work with them directly. We have an after-sales team dedicated, of course, to the post-sales activity. Very briefly, what are the company achievements for the last year especially, but they, of course, this is a result of a long time working in the field. We consider ourselves a reference player in the Italian commercial industrial market for best solution. For the CNI market or the extra large, let's say, product, we think we are first mover because we have published and placed ready to the market the first product almost 1.5 years ago. We have increased our international presence in EU markets by expanding our exports compared to the previous 2021 and 2022. We have finalized our M&A in cloud solution last year by acquiring a cloud computing firm, and thanks to that acquisition, we became fully integrated with our team of developers, and we, of course, have incorporated all our cloud solutions. We have insourced and industrialized production phases of the assembly of the BESS system, and then I will skip some of them because they are maybe to go to the Gigafactory also, which was one of the started investments last year. We have completed one line of assembly of batteries for capacity of 0.80 gigawatt hour per year. And we are in the way of building also a bigger Gigafactory for the future. The assembly of batteries will allow energy in this year to market first made in Italy extra large storage system, certified made in Italy. I will highlight here some key facts recent from last year. The joint venture with Pylontech. Of course, the Gigafactory, we don't start from scratch. We start with a joint venture with our partner, okay, which has been in 2022 the largest producer of a storage system for static application. And as I said, also in July, we have acquired the cloud computing, which I spoke before. In November 2023, we received a 7.15 million contribution from the NRRP for the Gigafactory, because as defined as a strategic investment for Invitalia and for the Ministry of Economic Development. And for the first line, the testing phase in January, sorry, this year, we have made ready the first line, ready for starting the first trial production of assembly for lithium battery. And we also have depicted here the EU's Net Zero Industry Act, which has also recently been finally confirmed, where the objective is to increase, of course, the independency and the local production in Europe for energy strategic systems and also for storage systems, 40% at least by 2030. What are our company objectives for this and the future year? Of course, we want to increase the CNI and grid scale. That's the future for us, and the utility scale as well. We want to still increase also our international presence in the EU markets and export more, and also the panel of new products for the targeted markets. We will continue then to work on new M&A opportunities, as we think M&A, and we have also declared in the IPO time, we listed in August 2022, and our strategical fundamental plan has not changed so far. So we still think M&A opportunities must be worked on, and will be strategic for our growth and our value, let's say, capacity to give value to our products and our strategy. We will introduce also connected service portfolio, resident and cloud-based. Up to now, we are still concentrating on delivering technology, which we equip with special functions. We want to start soon delivering a made in Italy technology. And our portfolio of services that we can provide together with our technology, not only include the pre-sales and engineering and post-sales support, but also services that our products can do above the, let's say, more simple self-use consumption. If you're not familiar with the storage system, typical application is to maximize the product self-use of energy produced by a solar panel, for instance. But of course, instead we already equipped our product with more services that the technology can do in parallel, like energy trading, like, for instance, weather forecasting for optimizing strategy for recharge, and so on. I will skip this because I've already condensed exactly what we have done compared to our plan of strategic guidelines, that we are in line with that. And I will concentrate a little bit more on ESG reporting that we will issue by end of this year, the first ESG report. We are already in the EU taxonomy, quite very much fitting completely on the first classification for enable agent for the energy transition. And of course, with a special focus on reduction of CO2 emissions. We would like to give more value to investors, to customers, to all the community by producing an ESG report by the end of the year voluntarily, and then we will be ready, of course, in the future for upcoming times when it will be mandatory as well. Now, I will spend a few minutes on the financials before the Q&A. Last year represented a slowdown time for the company compared to the positive and consistent growth of the last years. Energy has been growing company, double-digit every year since foundation, except 2023. Energy has been still, including also 2023, positive net result, final earning after taxes positive all the time of all its life. So last year we experienced a sudden fall of demand due to the stop of the transfer credit mechanism, tax credit mechanism that was used like cash for by end users, especially in the residential market, for let's say covering their investments in storage system. But not only, actually, all this problem affected all the building industry, and in general all the Europe. We have seen the increase in interest rates and significant increase in inflation rates that we have all experienced in Europe has affected strongly the market also of storage last year. So we ended up with 63.3 million. That is roughly half of 2022, but it's still a growth compared to 2021. EBITDA of 10.1 million, 60% margin, and EBIT 8.9 million, which is accounts for the 14% of margin. The net income positive was 9% of margin, 5.6 million worth. And we were positive in cash, so we could generate cash from our operation that also covered investments. That was quite in 2023, investments accounted for 8.4 million, which is the highest year of investments compared to all the past years. We had an increase of revenues breakdown, increase of exports, as you can see in the left graph, from 15 to 23%. So we are on the path of increasing, as we said, our more, let's say, to be more export focused. And also in the center graph, we can see that we have increased our revenues by product category. So from 3% to 7% of extra large system, which are the ones that we will increase also this year more. And we will focus our strategy on. And by considering channels, we can notice more or less a balancing of all the channels and the increase of EPC, the category that is targeted for the extra large systems, exactly as we were expecting. And net financial position, the result is basically a reorganization of our debt structure and also a very good use of cash generated by the operations. That resulted in a cash bridge that brings from 60 million last year, end of 2022, and to 18.8 million at the end of 2023. So, as I said, plus 2.9 net cash flow and operating cash flow 18.2 generated that could cover the capex of 8.4 and also the change in reduction of short-term debt of 5 million. I've gone maybe a little bit quicker. Maybe I could use some more minutes, but I think now it's a good time for the question and answer.
Yeah, actually, great timing. I think we have like 7 minutes left, and there are already a few questions in the chat. So your backlog was very low for 2023. How has the backlog developed since then? And 2024 will be what you call a transition year. So what do you mean for, or what do you expect for sales and earnings compared to 2023?
Well, thank you. So backlog evolution, we see backlog changing. Backlog is starting to increase. We don't release this figure, but actually what I can explain maybe in general terms, in qualitative terms, that by the transition year, basically we'll see in our case, but not only in our case, I would say in the market in general, we expect an increase of weight in our revenues of extra large systems. So applications which are not especially dedicated to residential, but dedicated to other applications that can fit well in for instance, in an energy community. Of course, this type of application normally have a logic of projects. So they have a longer lead time. They have a longer developed time also because the market is not so well mature that can really customers starts to figure out now what can be the advantage and the good application of storage systems. So we need to help this process. We have a pipeline of offers on this in this special segment, which is much higher than our backlog, which is reflecting only orders, but we expect the backlog to increase more in the second semester thanks to incoming of orders that are being generated through the work on this offers pipeline in the first half. So the transition is exactly this. We will expect residential to remain more or less more and more marginal in our book and increase of extra large systems.
Okay. And how do you want to or do you want to expand to the EU through acquisitions? And if the answer is yes, have you already identified certain targets?
We are working on that. Of course, this is an active activity of the company. We have already identified, especially we would like to concentrate at this point on an acquisition that can provide us more, as a first step, more competence in the application of large application, of implementation of large scale application. Let's say not the grids, the very large grid scale, but at least until 100 megawatt power. And we have identified, we are actively working on that. So I hope that we will be able to release some good news on that in a good time.
Excellent. And what are the main components of Energy's strategic vision for the next 5 years?
Sorry, can I ask you to repeat?
Yes. Where do you see the strategic vision for the company for the next 5 years?
Oh, okay. The vision. We believe that there is energy will play a more significant role in the future in all type of application, because we see the market is evolving very rapidly, and the society is also evolving very rapidly. So we will see much more offer on, let's say, storage type, storage way of storing energy, way of producing energy as well. So energy will need to be, and is targeting to be always at the really front of technology development, in order to be first mover all the time, stay at the edge, and provide solution not only in terms of hardware, but also and especially on software, in order to expand the possibility to serve this transition and serve multiple customers by giving very market-ready modular application, easy to install and easy to serve multiple services at the same time, making multiple functions at the same time. I hope it was a difficult question. I hope I answered.
And do you also see a market outside of Europe for your company?
Oh, we do. We have since maybe 5 years now, maybe 6 years, or some exports in the US. And we think after setting up a good footprint in Europe, maybe most probably that will be a second market for energy. Of course, we need to stay clear and stay tuned on all the restrictions that US is now placing on some imports. But thanks to our experience and also our connections, we think we can do something good also in that area, in that region.
Excellent. Thank you much. The time is already up.
Thank you too.